Welcome back to Frost Syndication. This is Zed. Today we're talking once more about Camber Energy as it hit one of the highest on my polls. Today we're going to be discussing different things, including the technical analysis, the progress that we've seen, and the changes to that and what we can see in the next few days. So I did a video before about this one, so if you want to watch that, you'll find it in the description below. The last official news that we have was back on October 5th on the short selling report that really hit this one and disrupted a massive momentum that was going on. The investor presentation is not updated since May 11th, 2021, and it was really talking about how this company dives through into Elysium Energy, iCore Energy, Petroleum Energy, and a couple of others, and how Viking Energy Group is basically the parent of these kind of companies, and they own 62%. They also did provide another update onto this one relating towards additional equity investment, where they basically increased around $11 million worth of common stock of Viking into their portfolio. Now, on the other things that a lot of people have been interested about is things like the short selling interest, or the short interest as a percent of the float. Currently, that's only around 10.53%. Meanwhile, that might not seem that significant for some. We're able to see that Finviz doesn't actually have the short float here. Now, understandably, the short interest has dropped quite a bit, but the short interest in general has a ratio of 0.09 days to cover based on Fintel. Now, if we were to take a look at the short shares availability, currently Fintel, just a minute ago, reported 0 shares available for short selling and doesn't give you any percentage about the activity of the short borrow fee rate. But we're able to see that short volumes have dropped where it was averaging around 50. Now it's averaging closer to 30. So it really has dried out when it comes towards the short volume side and the short interest side, really showing that a lot of these short sellers have already covered. But if we were to take a look into the price action on its own, we're still quite down. And this is mainly due to the momentum that we've seen. Last time in my last video, we were a little bit onto the top, closer to 250, and I did mention that this is starting to look like an inverse cup with a handle, and usually things drop afterwards, and we did drop down to almost 119. We'll discuss a little bit further on this into the technical analysis. But before moving on forward, if you would like to see more contents like this, make sure to click the subscribe button and leave notifications on for this channel, as it helps my channel quite a lot. Also, don't forget to drop a like. Our Discord server is in the description below and is totally free. Now, institutional buyers, we have a new institutional investor, one of the first in a month, called Private Advisors Group LLC. They added around 14,600 shares, and that on its own is very exciting. To see another institution jump on this. It's been quite of a dry spell since the 17th of September, where Virtual Capital liquidated their entire position. Insiders here, we don't have any new news about this. Again, short selling has been really drying up, and it appears to be currently only panic selling. Let's move on towards technical analysis to discuss this further. Now, from a technical analysis, what we're actually seeing on this level is that the 10 SMA is actually diving below the 30 MA, and the price point is above the 50 SMA. That might seem like a lot of jargon, but we gotta know is this is a critical point where everything can go south easily, but this stock is still showing a pulse today on Friday with a really nice green candle. Now, after it slipped downwards back to almost very close to the dollar value. Now, in terms of the 80X, this is suggesting a pullback, a really massive pull from what we've seen previously at the strength of the movement at almost 55. Now, the willing percent R, which is very similar to relative strength index, shows that this one is currently oversold, meaning there's a lot more selling activities than buyers. And what we see in terms of the volumes and everything, that this is not currently a short selling attack, but rather than people losing interest or people who participated previously in that push, which a lot of people are calling pump and dump, and it really is what perspective, but a lot of that was in fact, or appeared to be pump and dump. A lot of people are just exiting, and some people who bought around 40.85 are just really upset and just trying to leave out. Some who bought around 90 cents are leaving out at this level. And so that's why we're seeing an oversold level. It's not really from a short selling, but rather than the momentum has already kind of disrupted, including after the short selling report that really plummeted this one from 317 all the way down to a sub-dollar. Now, in terms of the MACD and momentum, both are negative and increasingly getting negative. Now, the MACD, we thought that is going to actually go ahead and see a reversal. We start seeing signs of that. But then currently, it's still one of the most negative. Again, trying to show that reversal, but only time will tell for next week. Momentum is currently one of the lowest at negative 205. I don't even see anywhere in the chart where it was this low. Perhaps the last time was way back in December 2019. Now, the stochastic fast and stochastic slow both are actually pinpointing and looking downwards, suggesting that we might get a little bit of a test of a support sometime soon, but currently it's almost at a horizontal scale, suggesting that we're more of an accumulation period. In terms of the moving averages, we're able to see that the moving averages are above where the stock is, and it's expected to trade between 226 and 185, and the stock is in fact below those levels. And volumes have really plummeted, and a lot of lower interest than we've seen before. Similar though interest than the massive jump over here and here, really going back to pre-levels of around 17th of September to 22nd of September. Now, on the chart itself, we're highlighting here a Fibonacci retracements. We're able to see a significant resistance at the 140 level, and then the 206, 259, 312, and 388, followed by 485. The support is at 33 cents. Now there's key resistances and supports. The first key resistance is at 138, following that 159, 178, going upwards to 227, 303, and then upwards to 351. Supports now are sitting, the first one as at 127, and then 119 as a smaller one right underneath it, 99 cents or $1, and then 85 cents, 69 cents, and 47 cents. Comes to the question to Ed, what do you think is going to happen here? Now, it is very clear, and a lot of people should quickly try to understand that this was initially just a push on momentum. It started with a pump and dump, and then a lot of people started joining in on that momentum, and that's why you had almost a month or so in growth. This was not trying to find a stock with a massive opportunity, which is going to be the next Tesla or Amazon, but rather than momentum. And the stock selling report really disrupted that momentum and it really killed it. Now, some quote-unquote financial fours are still trying to push into this one and try to get it back to pre-levels as a fight towards the short selling report or short sellers in general. But again, a lot of these short sellers have already left, as we get to see from the percentages, and what remains is buyers and long investors. And the panic selling is continuing on. What do you think about the sticker? Make sure to mention down in the comments below. Share, subscribe, and like, and have a wonderful day. Now, if you're still here on this video, make sure to drop down below and join our Discord. We have a lot of different things going on, including, for instance, members that gives picks for free. It's not pump and dumps, we just things we think about, swings, etc. We also have really exciting bots. You can actually use those ones. For instance, we're just testing out this bot, for instance, that gives you Fibonacci resistance points, activities, etc. And we have a bunch of free things, totally free. We run on tips here, and you can ask me questions, suggest stocks, etc. It's a really nice community that has been growing up very fast at a very good rate, and it's totally free. If you would like to join that one, feel free to do so in the description below, and have a wonderful day.